Welcome back to my channel, and I am so grateful for every 800 plus persons who watched the last video. The reactions were so intense, and I'm sorry if a lot of people cry, but those were raw emotions. Just like I promised that my live videos, my YouTube channel is going to be filled with raw emotions, raw feelings, no editing and all of that. And that's why you will not find a lot of the usual edits that you see. If you have not subscribed, please click the subscription button below, and please share and share and share. I'm doing so much work trying to get all of this information out here. Yeah, so on this episode I'm going to be talking about the most dreaded morning sickness. Morning sickness. And it's, I don't know, I am angry at the set of people that came together, or persons that came together and said that it was morning sickness, because for me it wasn't morning sickness. It was an all-day sickness, and it was tiring, it was frustrating, and coupled with the fact that in those early stages there was a lot of tension from, do I want to keep this baby, to okay, we want to keep this baby, and what would the prenatal tests tell us, how are we going to deal with it? So at some point I feel like my prayer point got stronger because of that morning sickness. It felt like, oh my god, this cannot be wasted. I cannot go through this pain and everything would just end in ground zero. My body failed me, my soul, everything failed me. I'm going to pick it one after the other. So I am now like going into my third trimester. I've begun to forget, and I'm like, I've not even had this baby and I'm forgetting all the pain and sickness I went through. So I'm glad that I wrote them down, and I was documenting it almost every day when I had strength to even hold my phone. So I'm going to be reading them as they go on and explain how I crossed each hurdle. Please take notes, my morning sickness did not end at the first trimester. I had morning sickness up until my 19th week. Yes, 19th week I was still at the hospital. So if you scroll back to when I announced and when you started seeing pictures of me with a bomb, trust me, I needed to really announce, because I felt like I'd crossed one hurdle that a lot of people couldn't. Isaac John, their spaghetti is expensive, or pasta, whatever it is, is expensive, but I would die to have it. And I ordered it and I did not enjoy it. So I felt like, oh, they didn't cook it well, did they change their chef? And I went with my sister, so I bragged that their food is really nice, and she said it was okay, but I was like, no, you don't get it, I've had it before severally and it can be better and all of that. I didn't know that my taste bud was already changing. So my birthday came, and I had one of the best birthday cakes, which is from Cake 7 by LiQWYD. LiQWYD's cake. There was a month I spent probably 50% of my income on that cake. So my birthday came, and she was the one that did my birthday cake, and I could not eat my birthday cake. Like, throughout that day, they ordered anything, and the only thing I requested for was Ribena. Ribena was the only thing that I wanted to take. Of course, on my birthday, I found out I was pregnant. I found out the day before my birthday that I was pregnant. But I didn't think that it was morning sickness. I just felt like, okay, maybe I was anxious, especially about sharing the news with my spouse, and also just really putting my life together quickly before I started to show and all of that. And that week went by. I was irritated by milk, meat, fish. In fact, anything protein irritated me. So week 1 and 2 of my morning sickness, all I could have was very, very chilled Ribena. It had to be very, very chilled. And this was expensive, because the bottle was about 250 or 300 naira, and I could take up to 7 or 8 in a day, because I wasn't eating any other thing. So I wasn't throwing up or anything, but my taste bud was really, really terrible, and my breast was very, very painful. I couldn't wear my bra, I couldn't sleep on my chest, and I'm a chest sleeper, which has made this pregnancy very, very stressful for me. So I was in very chilled Ribena up to 8 times. Like, I'm telling you, nothing less than 6 times, because I was constantly hungry, but I couldn't eat anything. And then by week 2, I started to try spicy food, and that went down. I literally put raw pepper in my mouth, and I didn't feel like I had raw pepper in my mouth. So it had to be that spicy. And that's how one day somebody now posted, I said I'm going to mention this because it's still paining me. Somebody now posted ram suya, extra spicy. So you know how these food vendors used to make you spend all your money. I just said I want to hoping that the person would just laugh or say, come out or something. I've forgotten that I'd ordered from this person before. Before I knew it, it was a Sunday morning. They delivered suya to my house, ram suya, full bulk. I didn't even have network to even say thank you. Maybe I saw it and I saw the extra spice she put. I started to eat and eat and eat. I put the rest in my freezer and said nobody must touch it. Remember, I had not been eating meat. Before I knew it, I had network on Monday at work and I saw a message, account number 11,000. How did I say I have 11,000? Hey, on my pay though. I know this will embarrass my generation. I know that. I should have paid, but the thing paid me, and you can tell several months after, it's still paying me. My house help had just joined us in the month before, so I'm sure at this time she was like, what kind of human being is this, eating raw pepper, eating food without meat or fish, making sure that I have ice in my freezer. I remember one day I had taken a lot of ice and there was none. She didn't replace it and I needed to drink water. I couldn't even take water. I needed to try to take a drink. I was thirsty, so it had to be soda. And I said she should put ice, and she said there was no ice. And I literally busted out crying. I was crying, and I'm sure she was helpless. Like, which kind of madam is this one? What did I do? It didn't take long. I think before the middle of the next month, which was around my 8th week or so. I'm not sure now. I had to tell my work colleagues. I had to tell my help at home. I had to tell my mother-in-law who lives with us. There are people I am pregos, because people were getting tired of my crankiness, my any small thing I'm crying, any small thing I'm sleeping, any small thing I'm hungry. Like, I needed them to understand why and not scare them like, oh, maybe my migraine was back or something. Anyway, and also I was dealing with withdrawal symptoms. So I'd been on antidepressants for 8 weeks before I found out I was pregnant, and I had to stop them abruptly, which meant that I couldn't sleep. I literally did not sleep. I would sit and doze, but when I tried to lie down and sleep, I would not be able to sleep. I had insomnia, that I had heightened anxiety. I was constantly anxious, and my libido was high. I think my husband literally almost wanted to run away. My libido was so high because it felt like that was the only way I could take out all the energy that was stored in me, and release some adrenaline or something just to help with the anxiety and not get me to go mad. However, sex was painful, very, very painful, because I had lower abdominal pain, and obviously I had done the first scan, which told us that I had fibrosis, and they could only see the sac, but they couldn't see anything at this stage. So by my second scan, the sonographer said that he could see so they shared the same sac. He could see 2 fetus and a very gigantic fibrosis, and I think at maybe 10 weeks or so, this fibroid or cyst was about 15.5 mm. If you've ever had fibroid, you can imagine how big it was. So it was like times 3, if not times 4 of the sac. It was very painful. I could feel it when I sneezed, when I coughed. I couldn't lie on my chest. Obviously my breast was still very tender and very painful and hard. Like, it felt like I was engorged. I had to constantly use hot water massage to relieve some of the pain. Paracetamol wasn't working. The pelvic pain graduated to a pelvic ligament dysfunction on the right side, so I couldn't use my right leg a lot. I could not turn on the bed. Listen, I'm just listing out. It was a traumatic experience, and I started to get worried. Even though the cyst was on my left side, I had a lot of pain on the right side. I didn't understand why, and the doctor just assured me that I've had this like all my life. I've had fibroid even before I got married or started having kids. But each time I was pregnant, this fibroid would degenerate during the course of the pregnancy, and so there was never a cause to either go under the knife to take it out or use medications for them. But it was obvious that it got worse with every pregnancy. So the doctor said, because of my history, it's expected, it's understandable, I should just manage. And then I got into the proper face of morning sickness. Guess, the throwing up and spitting face. That shit is it's embarrassing. It's sickening. Which adjective maybe I need the dictionary to look for the right adjective to use.
So you're saying I shouldn't worry about the cyst?
What do you want me to tell you?
Okay.
To go and do surgery?
No. I'm just saying that because the pain is more intense recently. I don't know.
The truth about it, good. find that you have know what is making you feel pain and you're pregnant. So you go to your gynecologist.
Okay.
So today I'm on my way home from taking the 14th injection since this pregnancy, and a part of me is grateful, very, very grateful that I have an option. But obviously, a part of me is also wondering why I have to go through all this, because I obviously know that a lot of people are privileged to have the best pregnancy experience ever. But then I'm still grateful. And I'm looking forward to July 13th, where the whole journey is going to take the most important direction, and then I'll be able to tell if it's all worth it or not. But I'm trusting God that it will be worth it. So this road is blocked, doesn't even understand my history, you know, the sarcasm of, oh, you should be used to it, you know how they just treat you like because you've been pregnant before. You're supposed to understand that morning sickness is normal. Yes, I know it is normal, but then death is normal, and still we are afraid of dying. Anyways, after I had typhoid and malaria, I had some infection, so he put me on some medication that helped me to sleep, which practically was helpful because at least when I'm sleeping, I'm not in pain or any form of discomfort. And I had those injections for 5 good days at the hospital. And then I had to go back to a midwife that understood my story, that knew exactly how my journey through motherhood has been, who has helped me deal with miscarriage and all of that before. And she placed me on some injections that helped me when I was pregnant with my daughter, because also then, because our pregnancy was a pregnancy was a precious pregnancy, we had to go on medications that helped me feel good, feel better, and also helped the fetus grow well. So I'm back on those kind of medications, and today is the 14th day. And then I found out yesterday that my prenatal test that I thought was going to happen at 10 weeks was not going to happen at 10 weeks but 12 weeks, which means that I have to wait 4 weeks now. From today, I have to wait 4 weeks to get this test done, and had another 5 days to get the results, and then make a life decision with my husband. Obviously, a part of us already know what we are going to do with the test results if it goes either ways, but you know how we had a different opinion about if we get pregnant in 2021, and here we are, we got pregnant, we didn't go through with it. So yeah, but I really am holding on to God. I'm hoping, not just hoping, I have strong faith in God, because I didn't ask for this blessing, or maybe part of me asked for it, I don't know, but just because our children need a chance. My little Addy needs a chance. Addy has been the most healthy sickle cell carrier I've ever seen, but we want to be able to have like a chance, say if she ever needs a bone marrow transplant, she's going to be able to have a sibling who would be willing to donate, and we don't want to put that burden only on our son Hamad. And also the skepticism for the fact that he's also AC, not entirely AA, is just another issue. So yeah, fingers crossed for this one to be AA. It will be the best thing ever. So yeah, like reached out to me and said, please just tell me the genotype, I think I somewhat said it at the end of the video, but I don't know, a lot of people will wrap it up. I clearly said that it was a good news result, and even during the procedure I mentioned that the only reason you will be seeing that video was if it came out as a good news, because obviously I didn't want to come out to start talking about how we evacuated or anything a 14 weeks old baby. So yes, our baby is AC. Yes, I think that has answered the last trivia I did on my Instagram page. If you did not see it, I put up a picture and told people to guess the correct answer, and oh my god, the comment section was so funny. Like, how is it that even after that I put up a reel of what my scan looks like, a lot of people still thought I was having twins. Okay, so we're having a twinless twin. In the beginning it was supposed to be twins, but I'm going to get into that as we go on. But I have had a pre-existing fibroid that didn't allow that to happen. which is not a bad news, so don't feel sad for us. We are good, we are happy, and our seamless twin is thriving. And the other thing that was right on that picture was the year of delivery, not the month. So, so a lot of people said February 2022, February 2022. I've never been pregnant for 40 weeks before. So even if I was to be pregnant for 40 weeks, it would not be February 2022. So you have your answer there. But it's 2022. So, so you have your answer. Anyways, we moved into the real phase of morning sickness, where I realized that I woke up in the morning and I'm throwing up. I need to, immediately after food, if I do not take the right drink, and it was difficult to find out what was working, because at some point it was iced drink, other points it was very, very hot water or hot tea, another point it was Schweppes. Like, I was literally looking for the lime, the lime Schweppes they just made. I'm going to attach a picture to show. And it was scarce. I had to buy a carton, hide it so that nobody's sharing it with me. And I was taking up to 4 in a day, because obviously I had to use that to replace my water intake. It was at this time I realized that there were some days, I think I went to my sister's place to spend the weekend because I was looking to change environment and all of that, and I forgot my prenatals at home. And I realized that I had less nausea when I was at ours. So 2 things: my prenatals were making my morning sickness really worse, and the toothpaste I chose was also making my morning sickness worse because she used another brand. So when I got home, I changed my toothpaste first, and I noticed that I didn't throw up in the early hours of the morning until about 11, which I would have had about a meal or 2, so there was something to throw up or to nauseate me. And then I started to use the prenatals at night, but I still threw up almost all night. So I stopped the prenatals and just tried to increase my fruit intake, my vegetables, as much as I could, because not a lot of things could go down well with me. And I think my mental state also affected my morning sickness. I don't think there's any blog I did not write to about morning sickness, as if I did not already know. But I was just hoping that there's one miracle somebody tried somewhere. I tried ginger, I tried kola nut, I tried this orogbo, what's the name in English? I tried chalk, this Igbo chalk, I tried it. I tried lime and lemon tea, lime and lemon water. Like, in a day I would have like my hot water flask, I'll have very chilled water flask, I'll have another infused water with cucumber and all of that. So that different time of the day I'll try, anyone that goes down is what I'm taking. It was that bad, and it didn't stop the throwing up. I threw up anywhere and at any time. So going out became a burden for me. There was even one time my husband said, okay, let's go out on a date, just to, ease tension and all of that. I think I shared it. Went to see Ayla at Silverbed, and I was waiting for him for about an hour, and I had thrown up like 4 times before he came. I felt messed up. Oh my god. But let's go. I'm 8 weeks pregnant today, and this is one of the days I wish I had the jacuzzi in my house, because I'm so exhausted. I think the only thing that can help me feel better is staying in a lot of water. So I got this big bowl, and I'm going to immerse my middle body in it. Yeah. Now I'm beginning to think what my husband has been saying might be true, that maybe we are carrying twins. Oh my god, my whole body is so tough. Like, I need a massage, but first I'm going to steam myself in this very hot water. Yep. One of the days where you just feel like, oh, I think this sickness is gone, and then all of a sudden I'm throwing up. You can't breathe when you lie down. There's a headache. Yeah, I was constantly going on this choppy.
I'm so tired.
And I think at 11 weeks, I had to get admitted because I had been throwing up from week 8 up until then. I had malaria. Before week 8, I treated malaria once, and then I had malaria again, and this time it was really worse. I was shivering. My mom literally had to come bundle me to the hospital. We landed in ER. I had like 2 drips before they could move me from the ER to the ward, and I was there for about, I don't know, maybe 3 days.
See, mommy, are here.
Sorry, ma. I'm so sorry.
I want to sorry.
Wọ́n fẹ́ kó bá a sọ arithmetic ni ká tó sọ pé ó sọ̀rọ̀.
Hi. So I'm finally 13 weeks and 2 days now, and I think since I clocked 13 weeks, my nausea drastically reduced. The fatigue, I had the full body massage, so that really helped. Like I'd been telling my husband for like 4 weeks before then that I have a feeling that if I could get like a full body massage, it would really help my body, it would help blood circulation. And naturally, even without pregnancy, I always have issues with joint pains, back pain, and the likes. But you know, he kept saying no, he didn't want me to. Obviously, because it's not the one before, it feels like if I go, I'll have to lie on my back for a long time. I might have to lie on my tummy. And you know, we just wanted to get out of the woods before we did anything like that. So I finally had a full body massage. And no, I did not go to a spa. It was my co-wife that did it for me. Oh my God, God bless her. God bless her heart. Just God, she's just so good. So yeah, but the downside is that Imo is sick, and according to him, he's the one carrying the pregnancy for me now. That's why I'm feeling better and he's sick. But you know, the weather has been really cold. He's been stressing himself a lot because obviously I'm not able to do so much running around. But yeah, my skin is getting better. Also because now I'm taking more baths. I have enough strength to bath and you know exfoliate. Well, just exfoliated this morning. Use my rose water and all of that. I'm also eating better. I am not throwing up. I'm not throwing up since Tuesday. And I ate salad meat. Like I've not had protein in weeks. In over 2 months. And I was able to eat salad meat. Plenty, fried or boiled or. So I guess we're out of the woods. But let me not jinx it too much, sha. So yeah. Hopefully I can now compile all the videos that I've done and put them in a file to be shared later. I'm excited to be back at work. As you can see, I'm back at work. I'm trying to complete my TEF application, which expires today or tomorrow, I'm not sure, but obviously I want to finish it today. I also have a lot of pending works to do, so much decks to create for my clients, and I need to really thank them too, because they've been so lenient with me in the last few weeks, even though many of them didn't really get what was going on. Some had an idea, but yeah, they were like, oh, just take your time. But Mo is back. I'm fully back. Hopefully I can get my social media growth back so that my baby care page can come back to what it used to be. And also, I'm also now going to start searching for a better hospital where I can do my antenatal. The current hospital I use, there's really not much wrong with it, but I'm just used to having that 5-star treatment from my old hospital. So I'm going to look for an HMO that suits my pockets, and if I don't find, I'm willing to break my savings to get the best care possible, because I really hate the walls of hospitals. So I like to go to hospitals where I can like literally feel like I'm not in an hospital, and you know, I can express myself, I can film if I need to, you know, and all of that. So yeah, that's that. And yep. I think I'm supposed to have a repeat scan to check the amniotic fluid if it's fine. You know, we took some out for the PND test, and also because we want to.
And before I knew it, after we did the prenatal test and everything came out fine and all that, I was back in the hospital again. This time I felt like I was out of the woods. You know, 12-week mark, that's why I said the mental health thing. So I felt like, oh, we're good. So I felt good with myself. I couldn't feel any form of illness or anything. But I went for an investors meeting, and I just started feeling, immediately I landed in VI, I just started feeling very funny. I told my husband that, oh, guy, I'm not feeling good, but I'll just try and attend this meeting so that immediately I'm done, I'll come join you at your place of work and we can go home together. I couldn't even have that meeting. I entered the room with AC, plenty of people, and I just started feeling feverish again. Started throwing up everywhere. Landed in another hospital's ER, and then went to my hospital. And no, I didn't even go to my hospital. I went to my midwife. She treated me for malaria and I don't know, maybe infection or so. I went home. I'd continued my treatment, and before I knew it, I landed in the hospital again. This was even around when my daughter was having her graduation. Like, I couldn't attend my daughter's graduation. That was so emotional for me. Like, I literally cried when everybody went that morning. My sister went to represent me. My husband left work, just to be there, because obviously our daughter is very opinionated and would wonder why none of us was there, regardless of who we sent to represent us. So it went, and later in the day they came in a beautiful gown. She was looking so beautiful. She was excited, happy. My son was also moving on to the nursery class, and I just felt like, I have to be alive. I have to be strong for these children, because this cannot keep happening. They can't keep having milestone moments when I'm not there. But I really appreciated that my husband brought them to the hospital to say hello to me, and it really gingered me to just want to go home. I eventually went home like the day after to continue my treatment orally, and I just said I'm not going to fall sick again.
Oh, wow. So the next one is tomorrow morning. But the doctor said I can go home tomorrow, Abby.
You can go on and tell me this. So how's the tablet? This last one is very.
Don't worry.
The other got cough.
So I decided to change my hospital initially because I never liked the hospital. They're always very slow to action, and also because I wanted the best medical care for myself. So I said I was going to test one before registering, and
So I woke up this morning thinking that I'm just coming to the hospital for antenatal. My booking is today. But obviously, because last night I started throwing up like almost every 10 minutes. I have this heavy throw up between the hours of 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. I threw up almost my guts. It felt like there was something stuck in my throat, and despite the throw up and everything, it wasn't going away. So I slept between 4 and 7 this morning. I woke up feeling the same way with palpitations, felt like I couldn't breathe. I had my lemon and ginger tea just to, feel a bit calmer and all that, but nothing was helping. So I said, okay, I used Google. He was advised to take carbonated drink. I took Coke. It didn't help, but at least it stopped the throwing up at that time. So I waited till like 9 a.m. to have breakfast. I had breakfast, and between 9 a.m. and now, I must have thrown up to 30 times. That's how bad it is. So getting here, obviously, antenatal was the least of my problem. They had to put me on fluids. It's my first time in this hospital. It was supposed to be my first antenatal visit, and so obviously they're giving me some fluids to replenish all the fluids I've lost because I can barely stand. They're also doing some blood tests and urine analysis. I'm just really, really, really tired and exhausted. I feel like each time I'm coursing another week. Today makes it exactly 18 weeks. On Tuesdays, I clock new week, and it feels like there's always something new to deal with. It's just so exhausting. I was finally getting ready to resume work fully, just resume my life back. But baby mode 3 says no. Yeah, they will also be sending me in for a scan because suddenly I started having this tightness in my tummy. I really just hope everything ends in praise. So I've basically cried my eyes out because I'm actually tired of being confined to a bed. Again, I have to be grateful for life. So they think I have pregnancy-induced ulcer, which is so cliche because 3 weeks ago it was pneumonia. This child is going to get a driver mark. That's a new revenge I can think of. I certainly feel better, not like feel okay, but much better than
I was before. I've been jabbed like 6 injections between 3 p.m. and now. This is 9 p.m. And I was wanting to get food. So my heart is so painful, like my whole body is tired. I miss my bed, I miss my house. Life is just funny. Last week I ran away from home to my sister's place because I was tired of my house. Now I'm in the hospital and I'm complaining. This life is not balanced. Anyway, this is the 18th week series and it's not what I thought. Oh my god. Maybe more 3. I catch you. Yeah, the bump is growing.
It was ulcer. Only this pregnancy, malaria 4 times before 2nd trimester, pneumonia, ulcer, pelvic girdle dysfunction. Only this pregnancy and only me one. Anyways, I was on admission for about 3 days. I took medications. Eating was a struggle. I couldn't swallow spit, let alone food, but I needed to eat. And they needed to monitor that I was getting better before they discharged me. And luckily till today, that was my last admission. So I clocked 19 weeks on that hospital bed. And I just told God that, please, I need to slay this pregnancy. I need to enjoy. I need to feel like, and you know, when you now start seeing posts of people like them, Tomike and Co, I just feel like, are these people are all feelings or what? Or am I, this pregnancy should not be like all those that you would be on sick bed till delivery day. And I'm sure a lot of people are beginning to guess the gender with the rate at which I had morning sickness. I really like to do a proper gender reveal that will involve my family. I've just not come around it yet and when to post it, especially because since I announced, it now felt like my delivery date is so long. I'm anxious. Like, I'm actually very ready to receive this baby now, but we still have like a long way to go, and I would really like to have a full-term baby, to say the least. So I had my daughter at 37 weeks, my son at 36 weeks, and with the position of everything right now and my experience so far in this pregnancy, it looks like this one too may not reach 40 weeks. I didn't want it to reach 40 weeks. So that is my morning sickness experience, or all day sickness experience. It lasted between week 5 and week 19. So that's about 14 weeks in total. And that's over 3 months of excruciating pain, discomfort, embarrassment, throwing up, not being able to eat what I want, but the skin was glowing. So yeah, you can see, even though I'm just few weeks into my 3rd trimester, my skin is doing pretty well. At that time, I used to do a lot of hot baths, so I went dark and I resumed my skincare routine, which I'm going to share also, maybe subsequent episode or something. Maybe I should share that before the gender reveal or after, I'm not sure, especially because I'm launching it as a sister brand to More Baby Care Nigeria, and we are not near ready, like perfection. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that in the subsequent videos, when I'm talking about the gender review, when I'm sharing how we're going to be, so you'd see that my background has changed. That's because we've rearranged our room so that we can accommodate the newborn. We'll be sharing rooms, so I'm going to be showing you how to have a co-sleeping area in your own room, whether for a first child, a 2nd or 3rd like us, or the 6th child. We've always had a shared room with our 1st and 2nd, even though we had extra room. But this time, even though I really don't want to share rooms, because I feel like we've established some confidence in newborn care and all of that, but we do not have the space. We have a 3-bed. My mother-in-law already and my help already occupies one. My 2 kids already occupy one, and I can't trust to put the newborn in their room until the baby is about 1, so that we do not have any hazard or any quarter. So the baby is going to be sharing our room, and I'm going to be doing all of that. I'm also going to be doing another video on my hospital bag. So if you're a brand and you would like me to collaborate with you, that you sell mother care products or you pack hospital bags and all of that, hit me up The link to collaborate is in my bio on Instagram, and I'll be attaching that link to this video. Thank you, and do enjoy yourself. I think my cheek is glowing, and my nose. My nose is growing big. So you can see all the dead cells I took out. They're supposed to seem big glowing.